Welcome to the Direct Line, the official podcast for OADSP. We're excited to have you here with us today, and if you have comments, suggestions, or if you want to join us in studio as a guest, reach out to me at podcast@oadsp.org. I'm David Rustio, and today we are talking with Kim, Jennifer, and Matthew. Welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about your organization and what you do.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Jennifer, and I'm here with Kim and Matthew, and we are with Inspired Access Foundation. Our mission with Inspired Access is to help our communities be more accessible and inclusive.
Okay.
So we started with Changing Spaces, which is a national campaign of advocates just like ourselves who are advocating for universal changing tables so that public restrooms can be accessible to everybody. The challenge is baby changing tables are wonderful for babies, but once anybody is larger than a baby, there is no place to work with our restroom needs without these tables. So we started to advocate for the tables and realized that one of the challenges is money. Mm-hmm. And so what we decided to do, because it seems like if you go to businesses and tell them about this need, the first question is money.
How much?
And if you come with money, then a lot of times people will listen a little more. So we formed Inspired Access Foundation. Kim, Christine Seducci, and myself are the three that started Inspired Access, and we are just getting started so that we can raise money to hopefully provide small grants that will help businesses become more inclusive and accessible.
Okay, now Matthew's here with us. So talk about the challenges he has faced with a lack of access to changing tables in public spaces.
Matthew is 22 years old, and so we probably used the changing table till he was at least 3, and I'm sure it wasn't safe. But without that, the only place that I could change him would be in my van.
Okay.
There are a lot of folks across the country that will change on bathroom floors, in the grass in the park. I primarily just did it in my van, and it was a challenge because he's out in the open. We try to hide as much as we could, but there are times when it was 10 degrees. And it's freezing, or it's really hot, or it's raining. So his wheelchair's sitting in the rain, so that when he's done, he gets to sit in a wet wheelchair. So that was the challenge. As he got much older, I just stopped going places. Gotcha. And we've worked very hard since day one for Matthew to be fully included in his community. When he was born, we said we're going to live life the way we would whether he had these challenges or not.
Sure.
And we lived that life. The only thing that has gotten in our way is the lack of these tables. Okay. And so I will say for a few years, we just didn't travel to the places that we wanted to. It was too much of a problem. I did get to a point where that's just not acceptable. We may go and we may have to turn around and come home, but we're at least going to try. Okay. And then that's when we got really involved with the Changing Spaces.
So talk about the app or the information that you've created to help families in the same situation.
Hi, this is Kim. Jennifer and Matthew's partner in crime with Inspired Access Foundation, and I'm a mom to a 10-year-old who is the most adorable 10-year-old in the world, of course, in my eyes.
Of course.
And his name is Aiden, and he also has multiple disabilities. He had a birth injury, and since then it's been doctor's appointments, therapy, trying to get benefits, trying to get helpers, trying to get DSPs. The whole life kind of got turned upside down. And once we all the dust settled after that, I realized that the future was looking not so open to us because of the lack of universal changing tables and places that I could change him while we were away from home.
Sure.
And it just looked like our lives were going to be really small and not the full life that we want, not the full life that I want for him. So we teamed up and created Inspired Access Foundation. And once we started getting a lot of traction and more places installing these universally accessible changing tables, we realized that the next hurdle that we need to tackle is that nobody knows where they are.
Right.
And how can you find these? Because it's like a needle in a haystack, and most of us just go about our daily lives without a second thought to, will I be able to find a restroom if I need one? Of course there will be one somewhere.
Sure.
If you're on the road, you can pull off and go to a gas station, a restaurant. If you are, at the mall, there will just be a restroom. You completely take it for granted. But that is not something that we can take for granted for our loved ones, because they need this changing table that there really aren't many out there yet. But there will be more coming in the future, because it will be soon part of the Ohio Building Code, and it's part of the International Building Code.
Good.
So the way that we are addressing that is we created a map. It's an interactive map that shows all of the locations of the universal adult size changing tables in the United States.
Okay.
And it can be viewed at www.universalchangingtablemap.com.
Okay.
And if you go there, you can find any adult size or universal changing tables in your area. You can see what states are doing really well and installing a lot, what states aren't, and kind of show that information to your representatives in your state or your Department of Developmental Disabilities, and show them, look, we don't have very many compared to the states around us. We need to really do some work and catch up here so that our loved ones can have equal access to our community, just like everyone else enjoys. So it's a good tool for providers to check out, because if, they are responsible for taking our loved ones with disabilities into the community to be integrated in our society, and they are having a hard time doing that because they don't have anywhere to care for these people's bathroom needs when they're away from home, or let's say the day center or wherever they may be, they can look at the map and they can see, we can go to this park because there is a universal changing table there, or this museum, and they kind of plan around that. Or this business, yes, exactly. So our hope is that it's just a resource to anybody who needs this accommodation, that they'll check it out and use it.
So give us the website once again, so that people can get their pen out. I'm going to chat just a second. I'm just kidding. So that, they can write it down and find where they are.
Sure. It's www.universalchangingtablemap.com. All one word, universalchangingtablemap.com.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been nice, and it's good information. And Matthew, thank you for letting me borrow folks from your table here at the Opera Conference to come in and chat today. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, and join us next time on The Direct Line.